Nag-try lang naman ako magmahal. Nahihiya ako sa sarili ko, bakit ganito pa?
It's sad, isn't it? You've really got to feel sorry for Faith. All she's ever wanted is love. She just wants to be in a happy, healthy relationship. And yet, out of all of the people in the world, out of everyone she could have met online, she found Loren. But the only positive from this experience is that Faith has learnt a lot. She's learnt where to draw the line.
Ever since Loren came to the Philippines, lots of things happening. The cheating, the lying, the betrayal. It's too late now because it's over.
It's over. Yeah, we can all breathe a collective sigh of relief. It really is the end for Loren and Faith. But before we dive into that, let's rewind to the start. So we left the pair on Loren's last night in the Philippines, with Faith fleeing from his hotel room. She felt unsafe. His bizarre behaviour had her fearing for her personal safety.
After we left the immigration lawyer, his personality changed. He started acting weird, like a crazy man. Naunahan ako ng takot.
Now, the immigration attorneys made it very clear to Loren that his plans were wrong. They weren't going to work. If he was hoping that he could fly out to Thailand, marry Faith, then return to the Philippines and live there forevermore, well, he should have done a bit more homework. Thailand, like the Philippines, don't allow same-sex marriages, he was told. So, just like that, all of his hopes and dreams went up in flames. So, was that news the catalyst? Was that what sparked the end of their relationship? Was that why Loren was acting so bizarrely?
I think she perceived stabbing my hand with the utensil as aggressive or destructive or towards her in some way. But really, I was just fidgeting with the utensil.
Loren tries to make it seem like it was all very innocent, but it wasn't just the knife. Was it, Loren? Like, what was with the crushing of the cans on your head? Frame it however you want, but we could all see there was this dark mood that descended on him. There was definitely a feeling that he was trying to push her to her limits, and he succeeded. Faith was weirded out by him. She was terrified by a guy who, we've got to remember, she's only known for a matter of weeks in person, and they haven't exactly been great weeks either. And it tells you everything that you need to know, that despite supposedly being the person that Loren loves, the person that Loren wants to spend the rest of his life with, he really doesn't seem to care all that much about how he's affected Faith.
I'm sad that I upset Faith, I guess. Like, that's something I don't like doing. But it seems to be one of my skills, upset Faith.
Loren just doesn't give a fuck, and his shrug says it all. I'm sad that I upset Faith, I guess, he says. Like, it's wild, isn't it? The woman felt so unsafe that she had to leave the room literally crying, and Loren guesses. He guesses that he's sad he caused that. I'm sorry, but whatever he says, right, we all know what the truth is. We all know that as soon as he got word, as soon as he got confirmation from the attorneys that Faith wouldn't allow him to achieve his goal of living in the Philippines, well, at that point, she no longer became useful for him. So he stopped faking his feelings. There was no reason for him to continue with this act.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
So if Faith wants to run off on her last night, I'm just gonna let her. I'm feeling hopeless and distraught at the whole idea of a K-1 visa anyway.
Now, the K-1 visa, which is the only realistic way of them ever actually getting married, just isn't an option for them. Why? Well, Loren doesn't have the financial means, nor the inclination or the desire to actually go through with it. He never wanted to bring her back to the States. His plan has always been for him to move to the Philippines. But while his fiancé or ex-fiancé is crying in the lobby, crying at the bizarre end to their relationship, Loren, by contrast, just decides he wants to go and lie down.
Just the plan, just gonna go to sleep and then tomorrow you leave, or what?
I'm just gonna lay down. It is hurtful that Faith was afraid of me. I would never hurt her, ever.
I would never hurt her, says the man that cheated on her multiple times, caught gonorrhea, and was still keen to sleep in the same room and be intimate with her. I'd never hurt her, says the man who flirted with other women. I'd never hurt her, says the man who'd happily use her to try and get to the Philippines. Like, Loren can't seem to acknowledge the fact that he has hurt her. He's taken her on this absolute emotional roller coaster. The highs and lows packed into a couple of weeks together is enough to scar anyone for life. But Loren just doesn't care. He couldn't care less about the emotional turmoil he's left Faith in. And in fact, what makes this even worse is he has the audacity to act like the victim.
All I've done is be nice to her every single day, no matter how she acted or what kind of nonsense was going on. I always said, I just want you to be happy. Every single day.
I just can't. I can't with this guy. I just don't even know what to say. If Loren is really that deluded that he thinks he's been nice to Faith, then he needs more professional help than we realise. Like, sorry, Loren, but lying to and manipulating someone you claim to love isn't the actions of someone who's nice. Now, thankfully, Faith does at least now see the truth. She can now see him for who he really is.
He told me that he's homeless and he wants to stay with me here in the Philippines. He cheated on me and got STD. He's flirting at the drug club.
Faith lists out all the times that Loren has hurt her in the past week alone. The whole experience has been nothing but disappointment after disappointment. Like, if this is how he is now, just imagine a life with this guy. And while the realisation has now dawned on her that Loren never really loved her, he was only ever using her, that doesn't make this any easier. You see, as illogical as it seems, she really did love the man. All of this has left her heartbroken.
Nag-try lang naman ako magmahal. Nahihiya ako sa sarili ko, bakit ganito pa?
Look, since the very first day, since we met her, Faith has been very vulnerable and honest with us about her fear of not being taken seriously as a romantic partner because of the fact that she's trans. Like, it's heartbreaking that those fears, everything that she was worried about, seems to have come true. Loren has treated her horrifically, and he thinks that he can get away with it because he knows that she has such low self-esteem. She doesn't believe that she can do any better than him because she's trans. Like, it's sad, but it's true in a way. Like, he knows that he holds all of the cards. He knows that he's the one with all the power. And even when we join him the next morning, he's still determined to exert his power over her, to demand a final conversation.
This morning I texted Faith to see if I could talk to her one last time. And I apologize for what I did, but I haven't got a response yet.
Loren's plan is to hang around Faith's hotel to see if she texts back. If she doesn't, well, then I'll go straight to the airport, he says. But luckily for him, whether it's down to producer pressure or just because she wants closure for herself, Faith does end up texting him back. She does agree to come down and talk to him for one last time.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for getting gonorrhea. I'm sorry that I denied someone and it looked like I was flirting. And I'm sorry that the night at the hotel wasn't what you wanted.
Is Loren actually taking responsibility? Wow, I never thought I'd see the day. But the thing is, these apologies are too little too late. They're not even real. Like, I don't really think that Loren cares that his relationship with Faith is over. If he really did, then wouldn't there be a little bit more fight to try and win her back?
Ever since Loren came to the Philippines, lots of things happening. The cheating, the lying, the betrayal. It's too late now because it's over.
Faith is finally backing herself. She's finally standing up for herself. When all is said and done, when we look back on this season in years to come, for as hard as Loren has tried to make himself the centre of attention, to try and, by his own admission, carve out this Big Ed-esque television career for himself, ultimately, it's Faith's story that's captured everyone's interest. She's the one that we all feel for. She has the admirable story. She's gone from not even believing, not thinking that she deserves to be loved, to now standing up to this man, to now respecting herself enough to call him out for who he really is.
I finally realized that this is not the relationship that I really want. I deserve love from a man who will treat me right.
So, with the apologies off his chest and Faith getting the closure that she needs, there really is nothing else left to be said between these two. So, after some awkward lingering and an even more awkward goodbye, just like that, it's over. Finished.
Take care and
You too.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Does anyone else feel like a huge weight has just been lifted off their chest? Faith is now free of a heavy burden of a man who doesn't want to work, doesn't want to commit, and doesn't want to love her the way that she deserves to be loved. She's just had a lucky, very, very lucky escape. And even though she's mourning the end of their relationship, Loren is also mourning, but for very different reasons. He's mourning the end of the life that he thought that he'd have in the Philippines.
It's heartbreaking. The life that I sought out for me and Faith in the Philippines is gone. And I mean, I put everything into it, right? This was it.
Now, unbelievably, right, Loren even goes one step further. He goes as far as to claim he would have been okay living away from the Philippines, just as long as Faith was by his side. But I just call bullshit on that. He's contradicting himself. Like maybe if he'd said, I'm okay living anywhere that's cheap, anywhere that isn't the States, then I might have believed him. But for him to make out like he was okay living anywhere is just a lie. And frankly, it's what he deserves that he now has to go back alone to his sad, pathetic life.
I'm literally back to doing nothing. You know, this is nothing to go back to.
Now, let's not forget, right, that while he has nowhere to live, no job, and he's painting the perfect picture of a tragic human being, he has openly admitted that if things weren't to work out with Faith, then it wouldn't be the end of the world. He said he has other women, other fallback options, just waiting for him, apparently.
That's why I have like all the girlfriends here, is I have like my backup options, right? Because like there's a good chance this Philippines girl isn't going to work out.
Now, how accurate these claims are, who these women are, I don't know. I feel very sorry for them. But for him to stand here and now say he has nothing to go back to is yet another lie. He's been planning for this scenario all along, right? But at the very least, he is at least man enough to admit that he is the bad guy. This is all his fault, and Faith deserves so much better.
It hurts. But I think I really want Faith to know that she's a good person. That I was the bad guy. I was the one who messed up.
Correct! Ding ding ding! You are a terrible person, Loren. You have acted like a complete douche. You have pushed every limit possible to try and cash in on your 5 minutes of fame. Like, sorry, forgive me for being the cynic, but I don't care about your crocodile tears. I don't believe them. I don't think that you genuinely feel sorry. You've come into this poor woman's life, you've wreaked havoc, you've left it turned upside down, and now you're the one crying. Well, you. She doesn't need you or your best wishes. Sling your hook, get lost, and never come back.
And no matter what happens, I just wanted to be happy.
Yeah, sure you do, Loren, sure. Look, all I can say is I'm ecstatic that their relationship is over. I'm so happy that not only did it not work out, but he's been exposed for everyone to see. I hope anyone who ever considers dating or sleeping with this guy again just watches a few of these videos and realises what a fucked up man he is. Fingers crossed, this will be the last we ever see of Loren and his creepy smile, and the last we ever hear about his disgusting leaky penis. Goodbye. Don't let the door hit you on the way out.